All right, so let's do this. So first of all, before you can do anything, just take a, like not super watery sponge and just clean up the tile and just make it a little smooth and making sure there's no little pieces that still left on here. So it's a good practice to just make sure that everything looks smooth. And if there's still stuff that you forgot or you didn't touch when you're cleaning up the mortar and stuff, this is your chance to clean it up now before you can put the mortar on. The grout, sorry. There you go. There's a few here that I didn't catch. So I'm gonna make sure that the grout goes in the corner here. Yeah, sometimes you think you clean everything up and then you come back and like, oh shit. So that's why you always have to have two buckets. To make sure that your clean bucket don't get all this stuff. All right, I think I got it this time. All right, so now let's get this grout on. So everything is clean, looks nice. So now about time to put this grout. It's very different. Just try to mix it up a little bit just to make sure everything looks all right. Yeah, so it looks more like that. I've used some of these before. I do not like to touch this because it gets so sticky, but I'm gonna show you the trick so you don't have to clean way too much. Make sure you got your water, 2 buckets, clean, and a dirty bucket. All right, and use one of these. All right, so just get a little bit like that and just start on the corner somewhere here. I think that's what's even too much. I just put a little bit at a time. Yeah, this one you don't want to like put it way too much on your tires. This stuff sticks. There you go. And just go one section at a time. Small sections. See what I'm doing? The hard part is these top ones. Once you get it going, and then the bottom ones, it goes pretty easy. Just make sure you clean it all nicely, so you don't have to get so much. Just remember, every few minutes, clean up that area with water, wet sponge. So I'm about to use my sponge here in a little bit. So now, I use my dirty sponge. Like even like right now, it's already like you can hear it. It's like almost dry. Just few minutes like that. This stuff dries so fast. And don't like do a little crazy and stuff because you might mess up the grout lines and stuff. So once you do that, you use your cleaner one. So I did it intentionally like this so I know which one. Square, and then the other one is not as square. There you go. Yeah, so you can see those ones went pretty good, and that's what you want to see. And you just keep going. I wish they made like a little, something like this, but smaller. They can just like do for these smaller tiles and stuff. But I looked, I didn't have anything. So the more you do this, the more you get the rhythm. The best way to get everything in here. Clean up time. If you can hear that sound, that's how quick this stuff dries. So if you leave it on a tile, yeah, you're gonna be scrubbing this forever. And another thing that just remember, like to wet this stuff before you put the grout on. Just wet it. Alright, so I think I should just complete this corner right here first, and then I'll continue on the other side. I'm gonna use this dryable plastic. Look at this. There you go, guys. So that's the process. You're just gonna keep going and going and going until you get it all done. It's kind of boring to sit there and watch this, but just wanted to show you guys how the process is. And I'm gonna keep going like this, and when it's done, I'll give you guys an update how it looks like, all right? All right, so this is all done. The grout is in, looks really sharp. If you can tell, everything looks straight and clean. So like I was saying, just make sure you are using the dirty bucket and a clean bucket. Look at this water here, is much dirtier. This is much cleaner. So I use this first to wipe the grout. Once I put it on, I wipe it like maybe 1 or twice and then rinse it. Then I use this clean sponge right here to wipe it and make it clean and shiny like that. So there you go. It's not hard to grout the tile. I use this product if you like it. I think you can buy this at Home Depot or Lowe's, and it works really good. You don't have to mix anything. It's already pre-mixed, and I think it's a better quality than the mixed one, but it's up to you. You can try it out yourself and make your own judgment. But here you go with the sealant, make it really clean and sharp. There you go. Leave a comment, ask me questions, and I'll be happy to respond. Appreciate you.